Okay, so we're going to start our new unit on data analysis. One of the key things that we're going to learn about is the different kinds of graphs, strengths, limitations, and most appropriate ones to choose for a set of data. So we have an activity to start here. We're going to walk through this together, really get some practice, really refresh some of those younger skills that we have. So we have here a set of data of resting heart rates in beats per minute. So 70 beats per minute, 60 beats per minute, so on and such. We need to decide on an interval and organize the data into groups and what is the range of our values. We need to develop a frequency table, and we need to decide what sort of graph would be best to represent our data. So if we wanted to develop a frequency table, it is the rate of something as it occurs, but we need to develop a range first. So our smallest value should be this 53. And our largest value on here is 84. That's a pretty large value, but we need to kind of break this down into what would be the most appropriate frequency. So what would be the most appropriate frequency? Well, we can look at 50 and we can see that we have 53, 54, 56. When we look at 60, we have 60 to 68, 70, we have 72, 78, and 80 to 84. So if I wanted to maybe break this down a little better, I could go, excuse me, 52, even though we don't have that value, to 56, so that would give me 4 values. But then my next subset would have been 57 to 61. Now that's not super useful because I don't have any values from 57 to 59. So let's try that again. Let's maybe go 53 to 59. Yeah, that's not bad. So then 60 to 66. Yeah, but then that leaves us with this weird kind of overlap here. So I don't necessarily love that either. So let's think again here. What if we did just 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, and 80 to 89, because the range has to be the same. So if I have 50 to 59, I have 3 here. 60 to 69, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 70 to 79, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And from 80 to 89, I have 4. Okay, that's not bad. Now, that is sort of my frequency table. This was my range, my intervals, and this is the frequency. And what sort of graph would be best to represent our data? Do I want a circle graph? Do I want a bar? Do I want a double bar? When I draw a circle graph, we need to remember that this needs to be percent. Percent means out of 100, or easily out of 100. So if I count these up, I have 12, 16, 27, 30. So all of this, I have 30 pieces of data. Now, I could turn that into out of 100, so then that would tell me 50 to 59 would be 3 out of 30, which in terms of percent, remember you go the numerator divided by the denominator and then multiply by 100. So this would be 10%. 60 to 69 would be 11 out of 30. Which would give me 36.6%. Now at this point, I don't want to do a circle graph because of these decimal values. But let's keep going. Let's finish for completionary sake. So 12 out of 30. Would be 40%. And then 4 out of 30. This is my 13.3%. So I don't love the idea of a circle graph. They're also really hard to draw, especially with these decimal values. So circle graph, wrong. Not wrong, just harder to draw. You know what might be really easy is if we do a bar graph. So if we do a bar graph, we need to remember a couple things. We need to have a title, and we need to label our axes. So my x-axis, my horizontal axis, would be beats per minute, heart rate. Oh, I wrote that backwards. 1 second. So this would be heart rate, resting heart rate, sorry. And we should know this from science, in beats per minute. And this would be the number of people. So then our first interval that we decided on was 50 to 59. Our second interval we decided on was 60 to 69. Our third interval was 70 to 79, and our last interval was 80 to 89. Now the key thing is to kind of make them look even. I think I did a not bad job. So 50 to 59, we had 3 people. So 1, 2, 3. Come on. There we go. Not bad. And you can color it if you want. You don't necessarily have to. 60 to 69, we had 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Track that, track that. Now you don't have to put the numbers in here. I'm just doing it to help myself keep track. Next one is 12. And the last one is 4. So you can see it's not bad. My 60 to 69 one looks a little wide, and same with my last one. So it's a little misleading. So why? Let's look through our communication checklist. Did I include all the important details? Yes, I have an interval. My axes are labeled. I don't have a title, but that's because I don't know what it's called yet, and that's fine. Just make sure you have those key things. I'm choosing a bar graph because I think that it is easiest to see the amount of people that have had that heart rate rather than the percentage. If I was trying to maybe make an informed decision of a percent-based population thing, I would go with a pie chart. I also chose a bar graph because a pie chart would be harder to draw with the decimal values, and I don't think there were many other appropriate choices. My conclusion from this graph is that most people have a resting heart rate between 70 to 79 or very closely 60 to 69. If you have a heart rate of 50 to 59 resting, you are in a select few. And I can justify these conclusions based off of what my graph is showing me. Okay? So then we can investigate positives and negatives of these graphs. So I have 3 graphs displaying the same set of data. What are we going to be able to know from each graph? And which graph is going to be helpful in answering each question below? So in which 2 months had the greatest skateboard sales? So if I look at this bar graph here, oh, I can see right away that this is the highest one, and this is the highest one. So A is pretty helpful. let's look at B. B is a little bit harder. When I look at B, the first thing that I see is I see that this is the highest point, and then I have some really low points down here. And then I think C would be really helpful as well because I can see like these nice chunks down here at the bottom, and then I could see the percents to confirm which ones had the highest percent sales. For range in the skateboard sales, I can definitely see that this is the highest, and then I can see that I have two really low ones down here. So I would say that A and B are really helpful for that. And for what percent of total skateboard sales occurred in May, I would 100% only choose C. And that is because May already has that information available for me. I don't need to go searching for it, and I don't need to do any more calculations for it. Okay, so the next 2 pages, 2 to 3 pages, have information about graphs for you. Read through that, highlight that, find any key information, and then we will do the examples in the next video.